Hello, and welcome to Sacred Heart Music Center here in Duluth, Minnesota, for the latest installment of Live from the Heart, a Songwriters and Storytellers series. My name is Walt Dizzo, and I'll be your host for the night. This live stream feature is supported by the Minnesota State Arts Board and will highlight some of the finest music talent in the Northland. Each episode of this monthly series will focus on songwriters, their creative process, and some stories behind their work. Tonight's guest is Lyla Abukhodair. Born and raised here in Duluth, Lyla first caught our attention as a guitarist and vocalist in NorShore Summit. She is currently supporting a brand new solo EP titled Your Mom Hates Me Now, which is available on the important streaming platforms. Friends here and online, let's welcome Lyla Abukhodair.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Am I too far away? I can't seem to break this glass I'm in. Can you believe me? And the words I say, would I be too late, afraid to make you angry? The entire world depends if I'm happy, but I'm a fucking fool, 'cause I have no idea who I'm supposed to be. Can you see me? Have I lost it all? I feel like I might fall into the pool, and you're watching me, oh, breathing in chemicals in and out my nose. What am I supposed to do with you running in my head without no shoes, bleeding until you're dead, and floating above me where I stand? If you think I'm going nowhere, I agree. I can't remember the last time that I breathed and care about how I got here with you so near. I believe I've been emptied. I guess that I just couldn't see what you were seeing. That you were keeping your whole soul away from me, and I guess that's just how it's gonna be from now on. It's a big world out there, and I can't even cut my hair. I'm too fucking scared to move on and be alone. There's nothing more sneaky than me being alone with me. Oh, I grab my own heart until I can see I don't need you. Cause I have no idea, no idea, no idea, no idea, no idea, no idea. I have no idea who I'm supposed to be. Thanks, that was the first album on my EP called No Idea. Oh, darling, oh, I've got lots to tell you. Oh, leaving cigarettes on the ground, putting me out with them. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Lyla. Thank you.
Thanks, Walt.
This is a true exciting time for me. It's one of the few opportunities I have to talk to somebody who I've never met. So I'm just meeting you for the first time. So
Yay.
welcome to Sacred Heart.
Thank you.
I know, I'm adjusting the mics here a little bit. So, because I'm unfamiliar with you, I know those people at home and in the audience are probably much more familiar. Can you give me a little background of who you are? You're from Duluth. Tell me about your family. Do you have a musical family? Did your inspiration come from somebody locally?
Yeah, so I got my first guitar from Santa when I was young. And I started writing music when I was about 12 years old. So my brother taught me those 4 chords that you need to know. And then it was off. I've always been a writer. I have journals from when I was about 10 years old, I think, 10, 12-ish, around then. And so I've just always been a writer. And when I got the guitar, it's been a tool for me to just do it.
What inspired you to pick up the guitar or ask Santa to bring you one? Was there somebody you saw on TV? Did you have somebody in your life that played that you were like, I want to be like that person?
Yes, my brother Zach, he plays by ear. He's so good. He can play anything, and I've just been inspired by him since I was so little to play music, because he just made it look so easy, and it doesn't come as easy to me as it does to him, but he's so good. And we would just write the weirdest songs about George Washington and just really random weird songs and just have fun. And that's how we kind of bonded and got together with it. So yeah.
Were you learning covers when you were young? Were you trying to sound like somebody else, or were you just trying to be the weird kid with your brother, kind of writing your own songs?
I mean, we did some MGMT and all that on the piano and stuff, but we also, we did Milk Carton Kids a lot. So kind of more folkier, but then also I grew up with Blink-182 and super fun punk rocky stuff. So we did stuff like that too.
Sure.
It's our Christmas night was just jamming hard. We'd sing about the most random Christmas dinner that my mom would make, and it would be in the tune of all the small things and stuff like that. So
did you have a high school band? Where did you go to high school?
I went to high school at Hermantown.
In Hermantown?
Yep.
Was there a strong basement show scene in Hermantown?
No, I didn't. I was more of a choir kid in high school. I actually got to sing here with Ken Alberg's choir, and it was just the biggest blessing ever to get to perform here. And yeah, I didn't do much of, I did always do talent shows and all that in high school, but I was kind of a choir nerd back then.
Sure. So when was the idea formed that you wanted to play out, write your own songs, and perform in front of others outside of the basement, living room?
Yeah, totally. My first show doing that outside of high school talent shows was the open mic at UMD, the first week. And I was actually on the UMD soccer team at the time, and my whole team came and watched me, and I was like, okay, I would rather be performing than playing on the soccer field right now, just because when people are there surrounded by you who love you, and you're just really just putting it out there, I was just this is my niche.
That's interesting. I would have been terrified had my basketball team showed up to watch me do anything creatively. That's why I prefer radio where no one can see me. That's awesome that you were you took to the stage. Did you still continue with soccer and athletics at UMD?
I just did it for a semester, and then I joined the university singers at UMD.
So you dropped the athletics and went full hardcore into music. So tell me about the formation of NorShore Summit, which is how I first heard of your name. I saw you play at Homegrown to a very large, packed audience. So you must have grown a big fan base while on campus. I kind of picture the way the band sounds is like you all met outside. Someone was having a picnic with a guitar, and you're like, I want to join. And was it that idyllic, or was it something more? Did you answer an ad?
It was kind of one after the other joined, because UMD has a really strong music scene there, and I started playing with a couple people who, I was actually in Sweden at the time, but I was in Sweden at the time, and then there was a few people who were playing open mic, and they were like, oh, you write music, we should be playing together. And so it started out with the 4 of us. We actually added the violinist, and that kind of gave us our really kind of folky feel. Her name's Andrea Leonard, she's wonderful. And then we just started doing a few covers, and then also like my originals within that mixed in. And we would play pretty small shows kind of along Canal Park and all that, then
it blew up, though. You got a fan base.
Yeah, we did. It was pretty cool, yeah. Then we decided where the harmonies lied was where we should stick, because they were wonderful musicians that I was playing with, and they really knew how to harmonize. And the more we started doing original music, they would just really amplify exactly what I was meaning within the music through their harmonies, so it stuck. And then we're like, oh my gosh, we really need a drummer. So then there was 6 of us.
Which makes for a big cramped van, I suppose, if you're going to tour.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier being on your own, I suppose. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One thing you mentioned, being in Sweden. So you went to college at UMD and immediately went to Sweden? Is that the... I Googled, because I didn't know much about you when I took this interview. And so when you Google your name, there's a video from Sweden Idol. It's like American Idol, but done in Sweden.
Yeah.
Tell me the story of how you appeared on that.
Oh my goodness! So I got the opportunity to study abroad my sophomore year of college, and the reason I picked Sweden was because my best friend Julia Anderson from Växjö, which is our sister city. We did a soccer exchange when we were young, and so UMD had the same program, or a program through the same city that she was living in. And I was like, oh my gosh, I get to be neighbors to my best friend. And I was like, yes, I'm going to do it. I've never left Duluth, and this is my time to do it, because I have family. I'm really connected to family, and I really felt comfortable doing that. So I got to do that, and one of my other girlfriends from Sweden, Cecilia, she was in Swedish Idol, and she said, you should submit your video, because I don't know if you've seen when American Idol was like really popular, the first steps of it, like, do you remember the really long queues, the really long lines that people had to stand through, and they'd be like sobbing if they didn't make it to the next round?
I was never brave enough to try to be on American Idol.
But I don't know if you remember, but there's like really the first episodes of it, there's long lines, and they said if you submit a video and they like it, or you're interesting enough, or you're different, or you're American, maybe that's why, you get to skip those long queues. So I got to go in and meet the producers, and it was wonderful. I actually sang what I know best, which was the first song I wrote when I was 12. It's called Bee Song. And after that, they said, you know Sweden, very poppy, very ABBA.
ABBA, yeah.
Very ABBA, very Avicii. Like, they said, sing a pop song. And so after I got to meet the producers and they were talking about it, they were like, you should really sing a pop song so we can see your voice show through. And I was like, okay. And now I'm never singing pop music again, because I am not a pop singer. So I had to randomly switch it, and it was great. It was a great experience. I was in beginner Swedish at the time, so it was really intimidating.
The judges were very judgy of the fact that you were, you're speaking English.
Yeah, I mean, I wish one of them was like Justin Bieber's PR, and she, the one who really didn't like me, and I'm like, okay. At the time I didn't realize them, but now I'm like, you know what? It's okay that we don't get on. We sing very different music. So if there's one lesson I learned through that, was to continue songwriting and to stick with that and not let people shift me away from that. Because although it was a really good experience, I do have a regret not just going through it with my music. Because when you sing what you got, that's all you got. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. And that's kind of how I write music. So.
And then you'd have to live in Sweden the rest of your life if you were a Swedish pop star. So we're glad you came back.
Shoot.
So when the pandemic started, which I feel like has never really gone away, you were in isolation, I suppose, with your family. Did you have your brother around to write songs with? What formed the idea of putting your own EP out under your own name?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, Tom Fabjans who I recorded NorShore Summit's first album with, right here, reached out to me, and once it was summer and we could be outside and play music, he said, I would love to have you play solo. And I was just like, whoa, I can do that. Like, I really can. So I really started just playing solo music then, and then realized I have so much music to record and I really should start doing it. And then I started, in the process of recording that, kind of what I was doing that summer, and realized that I really want to come out with a bang. I really want to come out with something that's really authentic to myself. And so I inherently, just like without thinking, just started writing music that really was kind of more punk rock and rock feeling, and like just myself. And then I actually recorded about 7 or 8 songs and then scratched them, because I was like, this EP needs to come out now. It's loud and it's yelling at me and it's coming out, so let's do that. And then it happened.
Were the songs that you scratched, were they more in the vein of the Summit, kind of a little folk vibe, or?
In a way, it just, they needed more time, and I just kind of, I'm a person who's a very big multitasker, and like when something's telling me that I need to do it, then that's what I need to do. So I still have some of those songs in the back burner that I do want to record. I didn't put them all in that EP because they didn't quite fit exactly how I was feeling at that time when I wanted to release it. So I think 1 or 2 of them might come out on the next album, and they got my enthusiasm that I've built up over this year.
So the process for this EP that you put out, which is 4 songs, it's punk. It's kind of punk in the like fun vibe of it. You know, I don't feel like you're burning down any buildings or anything today. Maybe. Did you write all those songs during the pandemic then? Is that something that they're all brand new songs, or are some of those teenage angst still?
They're all from the pandemic.
Current angst.
Yeah, current angst.
Did you write those songs by yourself, or did you collaborate with anyone else from the old band or the family, or are they just all products of you?
They're all mine. I had the pleasure of working with Tarek Mekki, Matt Groom, and Adam Herman from the Slamming Doors. Adam Herman was recording me in the Serpent Room, which is a great place to record. Totally recommend it. But we were recording, and he was kind of with me on that whole process of scratching all those other ones too. So he was really patient, and really was a really good mentor to me. And throughout that whole process, I just want to emphasize that that's what Duluth music community represents, is how they treated me within that. Because Adam was like, I need a guitar player, I need a full drum kit now, I need this. And I was just like, within a day that he sent me the other recordings. And then we had it done, and then like the next week we started playing the songs together, the ones that I did decide for the EP. And they're such talented musicians. They just hopped right on and really supported exactly what I needed. It was.
So since this is a songwriters series, you wrote obviously the music and the lyrics, but then you collaborated with the band after the songs were done. Did you tell each musician, like, I need this, this is what I want from you, or were you kind of letting them bring their expertise in?
Yeah, I kind of came in with a very structured out, like, this is what I need the grunge here, I need this here. But I'm not a drummer, I'm not a guitar player, so I kind of gave them the freedom within that, of course, because I'm not a lead guitarist, I'm not a lead bassist, I'm not that kind of a musician, I'm a songwriter, so gave them the freedom within that, but it was kind of structured within what I was feeling too. So.
Yeah, it sounds cohesive. It sounds like you've been practicing those songs for a year together rather than just let's put it together in the studio.
Yeah, that shows how wonderful they are.
So this song that is the title of the album, Your Mom Hates Me Now, can you talk about what that song's about? I mean, do moms hate you around the country, or is that a too personal of a song to share?
No, let's talk about it. It's kind of the vibe about worrying about what people think about you all the time. And it's kind of the vibe about kind of letting that go. And I'm super close to my mom and like super close to my family and stuff. So it's just like, but when you know what you gotta put out, you gotta put it out, and you go with that. So that song is just really about being myself in a situation where I didn't really feel like I could.
And that's an important message for a lot of young artists to hear. So is it possible we can hear that today?
Yes, of course.
All right, let's hear a couple songs from Lyla.
Haven't been around that long. It seems like every time I hear that song I break into a million or two, bent over backward beneath you and I can't tell if this is real or this is hell, and I'll dream it over again. Haven't had much to say, but when I saw your face, taste a salty taste. Reminds me of a fire in the trees. Haven't felt the rain in weeks, and darling, are you alright? I feel you kicking and spinning and crying in the night. Haven't heard that sound around, but there's more of you in this town, and you'll stare at my emptiness disguised by a tight green dress, and I think I'll find a peace of mind inside. Oh, at least I'll try. Darling, are you alright? I feel you kicking and spinning and crying in the night. And darling, are you alright? I feel you kicking and spinning and crying in the night. Feel you kicking and spinning and crying in the night.
Thank you. I wrote that last week, and I really wanted to share it.
It's been a long time, honey. I wish that we could begin again. It's been everything but sunny, and the moon seems to ease the window. Let's begin again. Begin again, begin the end. I'll begin again. Begin again, begin the end. It seems as soon as I relax, 'cause it's time to go back behind the screen. If you notice something funny, honey, I believe we've been feeling the same thing. Let's begin again, again. Begin again, again, begin the end. I'll begin again, again. Begin again, again, begin the end. Hypnotize me, let me believe that nothing's going on here, nothing's going on. If we could just leave and think that I'm a thief and let my own burnt out heart fall apart when you're right there with open arms, with open arms. Lately I've been seeing strange faces creeping up in familiar places. I've got ears listening to my fears. Where have I been all of these years? Carry something, don't be empty-handed. There's nothing like feeling abandoned in my mind. I hope to find some in between this empty scene and broken dream. Please leave me, please leave me, please leave me alone, Let's just begin again, again. Begin again, again, begin the end. I'll begin again, again. Begin again, again, begin the end. Thank you so much. That was a new one called Begin Again. So I'm going to end this little segment of songs with a song off my EP called Lack of a Rush. Kind of going along with what I was saying about worrying about what everyone's thinking about you and not caring about that. Can't get out of bed, I think I'm sick in the head. Can't remember what you said yesterday about the way that I acted. I'm so distracted, so intense. How we went, just being with my friends. Hope they don't think that I'm crazy. Hope they don't leave me alone. Hope they don't make me relax. I don't know how to replace this empty smile on my face. Feel a little more, explore a better side of me where I don't feel crazy, crazy, crazy. 'Cause darling, 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 why you spinning, spinning, spinning so much? I think I'm losing, 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 losing you. Yeah. Don't know what to do about this rush. haven't been outside all day. I think I'd say that I've been defeated by how I was treated last year. But not much has gone on since then in terms of mistreatment. But I'm still fucking sad and scared to move on. I mean, come the fuck on, it's been 13 months and I have someone I love, but I'm still so up and down. But I guess it's a part of me, half crazy, crazy, crazy. 'Cause darling, 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 why you spinning, spinning, spinning so much? I think I'm losing, 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 losing you, yeah. Don't know what to do about this rush or the lack of, or the lack of a rush. Thank you.
We're back. That's great. You are such a good front person. You play to the cameras. Even you play to an audience that's not here. You're very.
They're all here.
They are the important folks
They're
are
all
here,
here.
right? Yeah. Did it take a while for you to get comfortable in front of large groups, or is that something that kind of came naturally to you?
I've always really loved it. This is like the only part that I really feel like, only thing that I can do that really makes me feel myself, like when I'm by myself, you know? And I find myself, like that last song that I just wrote, the Lack of a Rush, that's a song that I wrote for myself, about myself. And then the one the first one that I wrote, the newer one, is literally called A Song for Me. So I really feel like myself when I'm playing.
Well, thank you for sharing you with everybody around you. Listening to the new EP, just talk about song structure. The first couple songs have like this it's really poppy fun, and then there's like a break where I think the song's done, and then it comes back again. Were you waiting for like some kind of prog solo, or what's your inspiration when you're writing a song and you're like, I don't think I'm done with this yet? Or explain the process for that.
That's super awesome that you said that, because the next album that I'm writing, that's going to be coming out by the end of this year.
It's prog. It's a Rush cover album.
No, but it has a lot of that, because I think it really describes my personality within that. It's like I quote and quoting my own lyrics, but it's like very up and down, and I love the stops, and I love the starts, and I just love using music to describe exactly how I'm feeling, and that means the flow of my feelings as well.
Sure. Yeah. So one of the questions I had for you is writing and promoting and recording and trying to like get your songs out to people in the midst of a pandemic. I mean, that's obviously, we're in here now, we're in an empty cathedral. You're dropping a lot of F-bombs in front of the altar, but you know, that's cool. It's nice. I don't feel comfortable doing that myself yet. I think because of, you know, radio, I'm very particular.
Yeah.
What is the struggle been, or what have you found most difficult? Because you want the audience connection. You know, these songs are yours, but obviously they'd fit right in with a lot of other people's narratives. Talk about the struggle and, you know, what you miss about being in front of a live audience.
Yeah. Everything. It's like, I was talking to my partner about this right before this. It's just like, I am really nervous for this show, because I feel like half of what I like to do with music is the performing part, and is connecting with the audience and just vibing off their energy and seeing it in their eyes and just really, 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 really connecting on something. Like, we also like don't have the same experiences, but like through music I feel like you can connect with that. And so it has been a struggle, you know, but Duluth's really kind of been innovative within that. Like when I released my album at the back alley, you know, it's outside, and I was really worried just about how it was gonna go, because I haven't had a big show like that since NorShore. And so once it got together, everyone could, you know, be at their comfortable space from it. It just worked out. And it was just like, oh, like.
And I saw you talk about innovations. I've seen you do a number of live streams. I saw you do one from 2104 and a number of the Whale House? Is that? There was another, like a pay the rent show. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you discovered new fans through the internet, since that's how largely your music is being disseminated at this point?
Yeah, and that, and just be able to connect. Like I said, a lot of my friends and family are not in Duluth, and they're not here to see it, and it's just like, a lot of them are overseas, and it's not safe for them to come here, obviously. So it's just really been innovative and beautiful in that.
Well, that's great. Have you had any interactions in particular you want to talk about? Anybody that you've connected with? Or locally, has there any musicians you worked with? Adam Herman, you mentioned. Growing up in Duluth, was there anybody that inspired you that you went and saw? Or anybody that currently, like, who would get you out? Say we're not in a pandemic. Who would get you out to see a show live? Like, who inspires you, and who are you a fan of?
Yes. I feel like even one of my favorite bands is Say Anything, and then Blink-182, but also when I heard Beach Bunny, I don't know if you know Beach Bunny, it's like a female-led punk band, and I heard them during the pandemic, and they really got me, helped get me through that. And so,
is that a national or local?
It's a national band.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go see them. Hopefully,
Locals
yes.
can like other things other
Yes,
than local
and then
music.
local music.
We have a weird problem in Duluth of only supporting locals. We've
I
got to
know.
do both. Yeah, we got to do both.
But that band just like really showed me, because I grew up with so much like male singers in punk bands, and this is like one of my favorite bands is now like female-led, and it's just so inspiring to just be raw up there as someone, you know, as not as a dude,
Right.
You know, and just putting yourself out there and in being confident in this really grungy, raw world as someone who identifies as a female. It's not easy, but it's fun. It's fun to be different than what you'd think looking at me or something. You know, it's fun to defy that.
Sure.
And they helped me with that.
Have you found a venue or a community that's really embraced the ethics and stuff that you're talking about? I mean, have you found other performers that you vibe with locally?
Yes. I mean, before the pandemic, Blush was like the best grounds for that. I miss Blush, and that's probably...
They're coming back. They're booking
coming
shows
back.
now, yeah.
Yes, they're coming back. So really, that is a really wonderful, welcoming space. And me and my band that I'm playing with currently, we just got to play at Pride at Bayfront, which felt like exhilarated for, I still do. Like, it was the most wonderful experience. It was my first time playing at Bayfront, and it was just like so many confident performers up there that I just was like, I'm nervous, obviously, but I'm just going to put it out there because everyone else is, and it's a wonderful experience. It would be a shame not to. A shame.
There's something about that exuberance of youth where you don't know, like, the stage is too big for you. You're like, I don't know, I'm just booked on Bayfront. You know, sure,
Yeah.
Wilco just played here, or
Yeah.
Bob Dylan played here, but
Yeah.
why not me, right?
Why not me? And my friend, actually, who's videoing right now, she had this wonderful quote that was just like, I was just really kind of, stressed out and busy about it, just kind of figuring what I want to do with, like, my personal life and then also my music career and everything this summer. It's been kind of hard. And she told me, you think about yourself last year and how you would die for this opportunity right now, like how excited you would be. And even though you're so overwhelmed right now, you need to take that and just go for it. Like, it's so important.
Right. Imagine what it's going to be like when we can all gather in packed rooms, too. That's going to be
awesome.
Keep up it, right?
Yeah.
As far as songwriting, you started really getting into the band and performing in college. For other people who are maybe high school or in college who are struggling with homework, but they really want to be rock stars, how did you balance the time between your studies and booking a show, creating a record, writing songs? Is there any advice you have for other young folks?
Yes. Be really vulnerable in what you're doing and be really honest with what you're doing. So do exactly what you feel. When you're creating the music part of it, do exactly what you feel. But then also be humble in the way of asking questions, because especially if you're doing it in a community like this, there are so many people who really have really good advice and can really help you out and will help you out. They will help you out, and that's just, again, Duluth. So my advice is to just be open about it and be vulnerable and not be afraid to ask for help.
That's great. I think like Duluth does have an even elder generation. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but you're younger than I am. Even people my age who've been around the block for 10, 15, 20 years playing shows, I think they're apt to help the next generation. I think so many times people are afraid to approach them and say, hey, I have a question. You've been through this. So I think it's important that people are comfortable talking to a community. And no matter how big a person they are, if it's Charlie Parr or Alan Spahawk, they're willing to talk. But same with, other local folks, the Greg Cougar Conleys and Tony Bennett's of the world are there to help. And that's pretty awesome. So I appreciate you saying that. And now because you've been graduated college, you have your MSW. Are you using any of the things you learned in college in your songwriting? I know this last few songs were about you and your personal take on life. Are you going to connect your stories that you have in the field with your writing, do you think?
Yeah, social work is hard, and I'm not currently practicing right now. I'm looking for jobs within it, but...
Shout out, give her a job.
What's that?
I said give her a job.
Yeah, give me
we're
a job.
Broadcasting around the world, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I have very, social work is hard. And, but I wrote some really good music, feeling out my professional side of myself, just, figuring that out and challenging myself in different ways and using that also to continue to write music. I've actually, I just started writing music again after, a month or two, which is kind of dry for me. I have books of songs. And so I really was able to start writing music again within these past couple months is because I am kind of figuring out other parts of myself within that. And so I think they really go hand in hand. Like, I think I'll always be a working artist no matter what I'm doing.
I hope so. Don't let it get you down ever.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to be an artist in this town or in this world, in a pandemic especially. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate you sharing your talent with us.
Thank you.
One last thing, you are working on a new record, which we won't talk about yet. We don't have a name for it yet.
I don't have a name.
But you just released this one in the last year. Do you want to give us a clue of what the new album is going to sound like, other than a little more proggy?
Yeah, I would love to. I released that in July, and I was really, really fortunate to, speaking of another artist who really helped me, Laura Seltner of Superior Siren, really, really helped me and pushed me to apply for a grant through ARAC. And I would just another advice is apply for those grants because people want to help you. So yeah, I have my grant, and within that I was gonna do an EP and a full album. So I really want this album to be, I do want some softer things on it. I do want a few softer songs, but I still want to feel the angst within that. because I kind of found myself in this like 90s kind of slow rock feel within them, and so that's kind of a taste. But then we're also still going to have, I'll play one at the end. Of course, it's solo, and it will have full lead guitar and the grunge, but I'll do it solo for you tonight, a sneak peek. But
I like you bringing back the grunge. We both dressed for it
Yeah.
today. I didn't know that we were supposed to, but it worked out great.
Heck yeah.
I very much appreciate that. I'm
Me
looking
too.
forward to hearing the new music. And a couple more songs before we go. Are you willing to do that?
Yep.
Okay, thank you so much
Thank you.
to Lyla Abukhodair.
Thank you so much.
While you set up, I want to let everyone know that, well, thank you to Lyla, of course, for appearing on Live from the Heart, the Songwriters Storytellers series. Thanks to Eric Swanson for running the sound, and to Jose Leon and crew for video production. Live from the Heart is brought to you by Sacred Heart Music Center with funding from the Minnesota State Arts Board. Look for announcements of the next artists featured in the Live from the Heart series in October. Also check the Sacred Heart website, Facebook page, or Instagram feed for this fall's live music schedule. The next live event will be Duluth Does Fleetwood Mac on Saturday, September 25th. Lyla is performing a Fleetwood Mac song at that, I believe, right? Maybe? No? Maybe we can change her mind. We have one more song here from Lyla Abukhodair. Thanks to everyone for tuning in.
Thank you. Got two more for you. It's good to put on some advice is to put your guitar strap on. Says your mom hates me now. Tell me where to go from here. I've been waiting all year to hear that you've been doing okay. That's not to say that you feel great. There's not an emptier smile or an emptier face I've ever loved more than the day. But I lost myself just looking for you, way out here with nothing to do but sing these sad, sad songs. Wherever gone, we'll surround ourselves with shiny things. See what the fuck this new year brings. Your mom, she hates me now. Indulge me just a little while. He'll kiss my neck, the other one will smile, and they'll ask me if it's okay, if we can enjoy the same old space. Some kind of night, most I've been loved in a while. It took me 3 whole days to recover from the bruises of the living room tile. But I lost myself just looking for you, way out here with nothing to do but sing these sad, sad songs. Wherever gone, we'll surround ourselves, shiny things. See what the fuck this new year brings. Your mom, she hates me now. Your mom, she hates me now. You had everything wrapped around your feet. You sure emptied your whole heart for all except me. And I'm just being honest, 'cause I wasn't raised to be. Let's not focus on it. You already made me leave. But I lost myself just looking for you, way out here with nothing to do but sing these sad, sad songs. Wherever gone, we'll surround ourselves with shiny things. See what the fuck this new year brings. Your mom, she hates me now. Thank you. So I have one more for y'all, and I just want to say thank you so much to Sacred Heart for having me and for just being a part of this wonderful community. And thanks to everyone who supported me throughout all this. You know who you are. This one's called Scream. Times I scream about a special dream where I'm surrounded by a couple, few hundred in a ditch that's pretty flooded. But I can't take it or run until I start to float away. If I see you, I still won't stay. So watch out, you say there's nothing here for you today. Get out, you're not welcome here. This is what I fear, and you are much more sincere. And I guess it's time to find something else I might know. I can't figure out my way inside, but I'll try. I'll freak out, 'cause I'll start to feel empty. I'll leak out all that's left of me, and I guess it's time. Guess it's time to just be. Let myself scream. Sometimes I let you take my mind, you consume my insides, made myself so fucking blind to the world outside. But I can't take it or run until I start to float away. If I see you, I still won't stay. I'll bleed out all these lonely thoughts, but keep out even if you're lost. And I guess it's time to stop feeling this way, and I guess it's time to start feeling okay. Let go from this dream I believe's about me, in between a fucking scheme or an imaginary masterpiece. I scream, I scream, I scream, oh scream. I scream, I scream, I scream, I scream, oh scream. I scream. Times I scream about a special dream where I'm surrounded by a couple, few hundred in a ditch that's pretty flooded.